from the outside, I would say a lot of people, when they hear audio engineer, they think really technical.
Yeah.
But you have the relationship with the producer, the artist, when you're, you know, doing engineering for, setting up engineering for whether it's a Super Bowl or Jimmy Fallon or a big live event, there's got to be a craft to that, like,
Yeah.
and relationship with the artist. Walk us through, like, at a high level, what's
Yeah.
that like? Because to me, even to me, I'm not, I don't know
Yeah.
enough about it.
The first example that came to mind was Jelly Roll came. I won't say came to me, but yeah, I got him from the start, right?
Hmm.
Which is that's very ideal. And the goal when I have these broadcast clients is, most of them have never been on TV before. They haven't been on an awards show, and that's a whole nother deal, from knowing what camera to look at to sometimes we pre-record the band.
Hmm.
But where I really cut my teeth doing that is prior to Jelly Roll, Sam Hunt was kind of the first client I had from a starter, and so much of my interaction with him, it wasn't technical, it wasn't gear, it was more confidence. It was like, I kind of have this whole thing that I share with clients where it's about like sleep, not drinking alcohol, drinking tons of water, right? And I always say, if you'll do these things, I tell you, you'll sound great. It doesn't have anything to do with me though. It's just about being mindful of, did I get enough sleep? Am I hydrated? And I didn't drink last night. If those three things can line up, you're probably going to have a great performance,
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, I've realized it used to be a highly technical thing to me, and I was coming from almost like a nerd, like this gear, that. And I realized many years ago now, I realized, like, oh, if I can develop a personal relationship, it's a lot easier to do at the get-go than when you come in. Some of these other clients I have, they don't need a friend and they don't need a mentor. They just need somebody to do a task, and that's fine. I'm happy to do that. But when it's really fulfilling is when I get them at the start and can kind of hopefully share some good habits and patterns that, and now, like with Sam, we literally look at each other and kind of nod, and we know what that means. I can tell when he nods, like, if has he slept? He's drink plenty of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now that, he's flown, he doesn't need, he's figured all that out. But it's good to get them. It's fun to get them at the early stages. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
absolutely.
Just kind of develop good habits, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to put your best foot forward when you're on TV and it's a big audience, and
I mean,
people are quick to.
it seems like there's a lot of juggling though involved to me in my
Yeah.
head. It's like you have this space like that you've either been to or no. You have an artist, you have a producer, you have opinions, and then you have a ton of technical
Yeah.
things to balance too. I mean,
Yeah.
to me that seems like a legit job and maybe hectic sometimes.
It's really weird when I go out and do live recordings because I toured, and the touring world is, you have a lane, and they will proudly say, not my problem, not my gig, right?
Mm.
And I come into it respectfully of everything is my problem, and everything, because one department not doing something could be what keeps me from getting what I need. So I kind of see myself in a respectful way, because I do know the conduct and the rules of the touring world, and you have to be very careful to navigate the personalities. But I kind of want to know everything that's going on. I don't because they all affect one another. If they've had a late load in that day, everybody's going to be really stressed, and all that stuff's important. I want all the info. I want to know what's going on, where somebody's head is, and
Yeah.
those things actually make a bigger deal. But in the world I grew up in, you were taught to stay in your lane. But I had a couple people that I saw, and it was like, oh wow, they have a unique relationship with the artist, and that seems to really make for good results. And I always thought, I don't want to worry about how my peers do this. I kind of want to eventually get to a place, and it takes seasoning, and it takes many years to have that, to to be allowed. I guess to come at it
Yeah.
from that. But yeah, I don't know if that makes sense
No,
or
that
not.
does. To me, it sounds like it's sometimes like a technical co-producer in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Well, that's the title a lot of
Yeah.
times for those type events, like like if it's a awards show or if it's a any type of broadcast. It's kind of like in a lot of these young bands, we're doing TV. The drums might sound horrible. Well, I used to be a drummer, and I went to school with all the drummers, and I still ask questions, and I still hire the best drum techs to come tune my kit.
Mm-hmm.
And every time they come, I'm asking them questions and I'm learning, right? So sometimes the first with Sam, great. I'll make this really quick. The first time I worked with Sam Hunt, and this is such a great place for all our relationship to start. We took him to Good Morning America, and it's kind of I hate the term white gloves mixer, but when you're a broadcast engineer, you're kind of just there. You're not really showing up with any gear. You're kind of using your ears just to make sure it sounds good on TV. And so I go downstairs for the lobby call. His best friend was his tour manager. And I'm like, great, we ready to go? Where's the crew? And he goes, oh, it's you and me. And he's like, we need to load the guitars up, right? And so what am I going to do? There's no, we start throwing guitars in the van. He doesn't, very quickly I realized like, oh, they have no team.
Yeah.
There's no team has
Sam.
been built out yet. Sam was out touring around with his best friend and an iPad
Yeah.
playing tracks. I mean, that's where this started, right? And he had just, assembled this band. And so I thought, okay, the best way I can be of service, I thought it was going to be this white gloves thing. It's like, I'm sweating. We're throwing gear in the van. Being of service, right? And so we get to Times Square to load in, and it's shut down for construction. We have to hump all this gear across Times Square. And by the time we loaded it into ABC, it was like, I'm all sweaty
Shower
and
time.
messy. Yeah. And then, it's like, then it becomes very apparent, oh, we need to set the back line up. I'm happy to do it. Hadn't done that in 15 plus years, right? And again, it was like, oh, he's not a musician. I need to set all the back line up and get it ready. And I do tap on the drums. They sound horrible. It's like, well, I should probably tune the drums, right? And so they didn't have a playback rig. I brought my laptop in an interface.
Wow.
Yeah, we were another funny story to that day. I had a password and I didn't have a piece of tape because this is my personal laptop. And the drummer, we're like 30 seconds to air, and the drummer's texting me, "What's the password to your computer?" And I tell him, he goes, "Bang, play," and we're off. And so literally that first performance, I tell that story when I go speak with students. I'm like, the most valuable thing, if I was valuable that day, it was just manpower, knowing how to set things up, tune things. The mix, my buddy that works there, he pretty much had the mix. I just had to make everything happen that day. So that was fun though, because that's our touchstone. That's where we began with him.
It seems like being a Swiss Army knife these days is really powerful. And you definitely are.
It's kind of, it's necessary for everyone.
Yeah.